Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Welcome.
I'm your host, Megan.
I'm Hannah.
And I didn't have anything to follow that up with.
Oh, I was going to finish it with I'm exhausted, but, you know.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Cry me a river.
Okay, then. Build you a fucking boat to get over it, too, then. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be nice, actually. Do that.
All right, deal.
Okay.
Oakley dokley.
Today, our story actually starts with a question, but then ends with more. So, your favorite kind of story.
Wait, it starts with a question and then ends with more questions?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so it starts with, what happened in room 2805? On May 31st, 1995, a woman who went by the name Jennifer Fairgate checked into room 2805 of the Oslo Plaza Hotel in Norway. And yep, that's right, we are moving to other countries here. What?
I love it.
She was young and elegant, wearing all black, and had a very expensive Citizen Aqualand model CQ 102150 watch.
Whoa.
I know. There's
that
a
is
lot
intense.
happening, so it must be expensive.
I really don't know how that couldn't be.
Yeah. 3 days later, she was found dead in her hotel room.
Did she still have the watch?
Calm down. The woman checked in under a fake name and gave a Belgian address that didn't exist. She did write that she was from a tiny village of Berlin in Belgium, and this place does exist. People that have lived in Berlin have never seen this woman and didn't know of anybody who had gone missing. On the hotel paperwork, Jennifer ended up misspelling the last name that she used twice. And she wrote, right? So she ended up writing Fergate, like Fergate, instead of Fairgate, Fairgate.
Oh, no.
When Jennifer checked in, she added a man named Lois Fairgate to her room. On June 3rd, just after 7:30 p.m., a receptionist at the plaza figured out that something was not right in room 2805. Somehow, Jennifer was able to check in without giving a credit card, passport, or ID, which is against hotel policy. They were in a business class room, and it was one of the best rooms that the hotel had. Jennifer had been there for 3 nights, but she hadn't paid for any of it.
What? Sign me up.
Well, you're not going to want to be part of this soon.
No, but I want the free hotel.
Oh, okay.
I'll take a room for 3 nights for free.
Yes, please.
Just don't want to be dead after, that's all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Messages had been sent to the room on the TV screen asking for somebody to contact the cashier.
They can do that? That's cool.
Yeah, so the system was controlled by a remote, and somebody in the room hit the OK button and acknowledged the message, but didn't respond.
So, like, they get, like, a thing back, I'm guessing, then, if they hit the OK button.
Exactly,
Oh,
yes.
that's cool.
The hotel staff said the hotel room had been cleaned once, and then there was a do not disturb sign that had been hung on the door. The hotel was a 5-star hotel, and they often had very high-profile guests, and they were pretty strict about following the rules there. The Radisson SAS Plaza is now known as the Radisson Blue Plaza Hotel. It was completed in 1989 with 1,500 beds, 673 rooms, and 37 floors.
That is a lot of floors.
Yes. When the payment was not received, a security guard was dispatched to the room, and they arrived 15 minutes later, knocked on the door, and heard a gunshot. The security guard took cover in a small alcove to wait. He did not alert any other staff members because he did not want to cause a panic in the hotel.
Okay.
Right? Yes? Keep going with that thought.
I understand not wanting to cause a panic, but, homie, you're hearing a gunshot in the hotel. There is a reason to panic. You should be telling people.
I thought the exact same thing when I started researching this.
Just saying.
Yep. Well, he ended up heading back down to the guard station and then left the room completely unwatched. The head of security was contacted, and the police were as well. When the head of security arrived, they opened the door, which had been double locked from the inside, and the room had a bad odor. The room was dark, and Jennifer was lying on the bed in an unnatural position. She was freshly showered, wearing all black, and had black shoes. The police showed up around 8:05 p.m., which was about 50 minutes later. Investigators saw that Jennifer had one gunshot wound to the forehead and believed she was killed instantly. There was significant amounts of blood spatter in the room and on the bed, but there weren't any signs of anyone else being present in that room. The gun was in Jennifer's hand, and it was in an unusual position. Jennifer's thumb was on the trigger, and it had been fired twice. Once into the pillow, which appeared to be maybe a test shot, and the other was in Jennifer's head. Investigators believed this was a suicide, and that means they didn't look at every detail and they didn't pull the footage from hotel cameras. The 9mm gun is very powerful and has a hard recoil. It should have fallen out of Jennifer's grip if she was holding it with her thumb on the trigger. Both key cards were inside the room, and the door had been double locked from the inside. The window was open, but it was 28 floors from the ground and would have been real difficult for someone to get up there and enter or leave.
And probably pretty obvious if you see somebody trying to scale a building.
Sure. There was one immediate problem with the scene. There wasn't any blood or gun residue on Jennifer's hands. The serial number on the gun had been removed with acid, and the tags of her clothing had all been removed.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now, at first, I didn't think it was too strange because I cut the tags out of my clothes too. But
I do for certain clothes, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Only if it's irritating me.
But the labels from her shoes were even removed.
Never done that.
Yeah. So, only one label remained, and it was on a jacket that had been purchased in Germany. 25 rounds of ammunition was discovered in Jennifer's bag, but that's all she had with her. There weren't any fingerprints on the gun or magazine. Jennifer didn't have a passport, purse, ID, credit card, nothing. Police had no idea who she really was. During her stay, she had placed 2 calls, but they were both wrong numbers. Perhaps she didn't remember the phone number correctly, but oddly enough, the numbers were for Berlin, and that's where she claimed that she was from.
Were the numbers, similar? Do you know?
The numbers that she dialed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so, if she was misdialing and trying to remember what the heck it was pretty similar. Okay.
Correct.
Got it.
An autopsy was performed, and the coroner believed that Jennifer was older than she claimed on the hotel documents. She said she was 21, but the coroner figured she was between 25 and 35. She had short black hair, blue eyes, was 5'3", and weighed 147 pounds. Jennifer's dental work looked pretty expensive, but a dental match wasn't made, and her fingerprints didn't match any records.
This is so weird.
I know. There's never been a family that's come forward to say that they were missing somebody or believe they knew who this woman was. When police interviewed the staff from the Plaza Hotel, they learned that Jennifer checked in at 10:44 p.m. on May 31st. She was not asked for an ID and said Lois Fairgate would be staying with her. The receptionist did not see Jennifer with anybody else, but other employees did see her with a man between the ages of 35 and 40. She spoke English when she initially booked the room, but spoke German when she called to confirm. She stayed in her room for most of her stay except for the early morning of June 1st through June 2nd. She stayed out between 12:34 a.m. and 8:50 a.m., but no one is sure where she went. A maid entered the room while Jennifer was gone, and she saw a really nice pair of shoes sitting in the closet. The shoes were not in the room when Jennifer's body was discovered. Investigators found an odd assortment of clothing in Jennifer's room as well. There were 4 jackets, 1 blouse, a sweater, pantyhose, and 4 bras.
That is really freaking random.
Yeah, and guess what? She didn't have any bottoms, like no shorts, pants, skirts. She didn't even bring underwear.
Okay.
And I mean, that part might not be too strange. Maybe she's a commando kind of gal.
But like the fact that she has no pants, and if she's commando kind of person, and then she's got no pants, well then we're gonna have a problem.
Right. Something's not gonna work there. Well, a witness at the hotel said that she had arrived wearing a suit jacket and a skirt, and she remembers it because she thought she looked kind of like a flight attendant.
Oh, that makes sense.
Now, building a timeline for Jennifer was pretty easy. The key card for her room registers every time somebody enters, but not when they leave. She first entered her room on Wednesday evening at 10:44 p.m. She entered again on Thursday at 12:21 a.m. and again at 8:34 a.m. On Friday, it was 8:50 a.m. and 11:03 a.m. Police initially felt that pointed to a suicide right there. They figured she stayed in her room most of the time until she was ready to take her life.
Yeah, because you need 25 rounds with you to take your own life.
Right. I know, it's baffling, right?
Yeah.
Really, come on. During her stay around 1 p.m. on Thursday, maids had cleaned the room and the room was empty. That means Jennifer was not in her room, and the next time she came back was 12:21 a.m. Does that mean she was with somebody else? Like, where did she stay? Where did she go to? Police didn't know what to think about the whole thing, obviously.
Yeah, that wasn't clear at all.
Yeah. They were forming a few theories. They wondered if Jennifer was the missing wife of a mafia boss. They did rule this out pretty quickly, though. Then they thought maybe this was drug-related.
Darn it, you ruled out a real cool one.
I know, let's explore that. They felt that intelligence services could be involved, or Jennifer could be an assassin.
Oh, all right. It's another cool one. I'll take it.
Well, removing tags from clothing is a signature move for intelligence service.
Yeah.
It stops the police from being able to track the clothing to certain countries or regions. There was no trace left of who this woman was. If she was an agent for intelligence services, they may just pay the family off to keep quiet. On June 26th, 1996, the woman was buried in an anonymous grave, and 2 months later, the police ordered the destruction and/or sale of all evidence, including clothing, jewelry, luggage, and the gun. The gun actually ended up being saved, but not for this case.
What?
Yeah,
wait,
it was...
Wait.
You're gonna love it.
What?
Yeah. It couldn't have been more lonely. Jennifer didn't get a funeral because no one knows who she is. She didn't get a headstone either. She was just buried and the case was closed.
That is freaking sad.
I know. It sounds so miserable to know nothing about who she was. Police forensics department wanted to keep the weapon that showed evidence of having the markings removed. So they literally saved the gun by accident. Yeah. The numbers were removed in a very professional way, and the original numbers are very deeply ingrained, but a professional would know exactly how deep they had to go to remove it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. The gun was found by the Norwegian newspaper Verdens Gang in 2017. A journalist named Lars Christian Wagner had been following the case since 1998. Experts contacted Lars regarding this finding, and it was suggested that the weapon was not an authentic Browning 9mm like they originally believed. It was a Hungarian copy composed of different parts. The barrel was genuine, but the rest of the gun was much older than the suggested 1991 date of manufacture.
Whoa.
Yeah. Experts believe it originated in the 1960s or 70s and was ex-military issue. At 8:06 p.m. on the day before death, Jennifer ordered food to be taken to her room. She ordered a hot bite, which is a bratwurst and potato salad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. I had to look it up because I was like, what on earth is a hot bite?
I don't know why, but like when you said it, I pictured like some sort of Hot Pocket or something in my head.
Oh, yum. Kristen Anderson, the room service supervisor, brought the food up, but she had been given the wrong room number. She took the food to 2804 instead of 2805. The mistake was realized and the food was delivered directly to Jennifer, and she handed the supervisor an abnormally large tip. Crime scene investigators found the majority of the ordered food in the hotel room. Not much had actually been consumed. The food had been ordered on Friday, June 2nd, but Jennifer didn't eat it until Saturday.
What?
Uh-huh. Now, bringing the food to the wrong room may sound like just a simple mistake, but what if the person that was after Jennifer was in room 2804? Then bringing the food to this room might tip the person off that someone was in the other room waiting for their food. Now, that was just a random thought I had when I was looking through it and kind of thought, maybe.
Right.
That could be a tip-off. Another weird mistake happened as well. There was a newspaper in Jennifer's room. It was a USA Today. Newspapers were given to all the guests, but the one in her room was for room 2816. A fingerprint was discovered from the bag that contained the newspaper and was sent to Interpol.
The bag. I'm sorry, I had to. I couldn't help myself.
Get off my back, man. But the resident in 2816 has never been traced.
What?
Yeah. Isn't this getting weird?
All of it is just so weird.
Yeah. Now, there was a man at the hotel that was always referred to as Mr. F. And he stayed in a room next to Jennifer in 2804. The real credit for tracking this person down goes to Lars Wagner. He's the reporter who brought the story to the police in 1995 and again in 2017. There's never been a lot to go on, but he keeps researching and trying to find answers. Police documents show that Mr. F was in Oslo for work and was from the French-speaking part of Belgium. He was never questioned, and he had already checked out on the morning of Jennifer's death. Investigators tried to speak with him, but he was really hesitant and cut off all contact when journalists tried to speak with him.
Uh-oh.
Right. Mr. F did end up telling Lars that on the morning he checked out of the hotel, the front desk clerk asked if he had heard anything and told him that a lady had died. Jennifer's death supposedly happened on the evening of Saturday, and the front desk could not have informed Mr. F about a death that hadn't occurred yet.
That would be pretty talented.
It would be indeed. In November of 2016, Jennifer's body was exhumed for a DNA analysis. Previous blood samples had been discarded, like everything else in the case. Investigators took samples of the woman's teeth and bones. They sent a complete DNA profile for analysis at the Institute for Legal Medicine at Innsbruck Medical University in Austria. The samples confirmed that she was most likely European, and Professor Jurian Hugwerf studied her teeth at the University of Canberra in Australia and narrowed the area down to Germany. Professor Druid in Stockholm believes the woman was born in 1971 and was 24 years old at the time of her death based on her teeth.
Whoa.
The jacket and bag found in the hotel room were both German, and the woman spoke the language without an accent on the phone to the hotel staff.
Right.
Her dental work may have also originated in Germany. Now, I was really confused about the whole teeth study. I was like, hi, how can you tell how old this woman is based on her teeth? I hadn't heard of that before. During the Cold War in 1955 to 1963, there were above-ground nuclear test bomb detonations. They created an increase in the C14 levels in the atmosphere. Structures like the enamel in your teeth will incorporate the C14 that was in the atmosphere. They can take the teeth and look at the levels of C14 and compare that to the atmospheric levels. And that's how they determined Jennifer was 24 years old.
I mean, I'm not surprised, though. That's how, when you check cats' teeth, it's easier to tell how old they are.
Yeah, I guess, but that's kind of like looking at the plaque buildup and things like that. I was just really confused when you look at a,
like the
set
exact
of human
age,
teeth.
yeah.
Yeah, that, like they said, have gone to a very expensive dentist. What's happening there? But
yeah.
I don't know. I just think that's really cool.
It is cool.
I do want to talk more in depth about the day Jennifer died. When the autopsy was performed, they said that her death occurred on Saturday, and that lines up with the day that the security guard heard the gunshot at the door. I'm calling bullshit. Why would you order food and eat it 24 hours later? Like, where did she put the bratwurst so that it didn't go bad?
I was wondering that too.
And who orders food for the next night? If the partially eaten food was in her stomach, then it kind of makes sense to me as she died Friday. And then that gave someone plenty of time to clean up the crime scene.
Right.
She didn't even have a house key, car key, or toothbrush with her. If you look at the timeline of when she was entering the hotel room, she entered the last time on Friday morning at 11:03 a.m. And it's believed that Jennifer may have had a second room at the hotel as well.
What?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Well, she was leaving 28:05 for about 20 hours a day, and the newspaper in her room was from 28:16.
I was going to say, could it be the 2016?
28:16.
28:16.
It's possible that she somehow had both rooms and was spying on somebody else in the hotel. When the hotel attendant brought the food to Jennifer on Friday night, she noticed that the room was really clean and the bed had not been slept in because the bedspread was still intact and there was an upright suitcase on its wheels in the room. She noticed Jennifer's outfit and she was wearing a skirt. The skirt and suitcase were never discovered when investigators searched that room. Now, I know you're wondering why the security guard heard a gunshot on Saturday if Jennifer was killed on Friday.
And didn't tell anybody.
All right. What if someone was in her room cleaning up, heard the knock on the door, and then they fired that second shot into the pillow as a warning to whoever was on the other side?
I could see that.
I mean, that would explain the second shot, because why would Jennifer shoot a pillow and then shoot herself? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's valid.
Also, the guard claimed the smell was awful in the room. If Jennifer was just shot, I don't think the smell would be that horrifying like they're saying. I mean, it's still gonna stink.
But
it still has an odor, but not like a body
nearly
that's rotting and laying there for hours.
Not that I know from personal experience.
No.
But I have heard it's atrocious, so.
Yeah. The longer it stays there.
Right.
Not immediate.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why, like, if it had just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I don't think you start smelling for a little bit.
It's a while from everything that I've, like, listened to and
Yeah.
watched. So that caught me right away when I was reading. I was like, wait, why did they say that it was a bad odor?
Yeah, that is really weird.
Yeah. And then one of the things in the case that's driving me bananas is how Jennifer...
Everything?
Huh?
Everything?
Everything, yes. It's how she checked into the hotel. I couldn't move past this part.
I couldn't either, and I actually was going to ask you again when you, were talking earlier and you said that she talked to the front desk person and then went, and checked in.
Yeah.
How the heck was she the only person that didn't get ID'd?
Right, and I mean, this is a 5-star hotel that gets really high-profile guests. I just can't believe that a hotel like this would be so relaxed in their check-in process. How did she check in without the ID, passport, or credit card? And it somehow wasn't discovered for a few days?
I mean, we literally go to hotels around here and you have to give them, your freaking license plate.
Exactly, yeah.
It's, really, really strange.
I mean, it seems like people at the hotel were kind of in on this whole thing.
There's definitely...
What if they were paid off?
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, if it's intelligence services, they'd have a lot of money to do that.
I did not even think of that.
And then why would a security guard leave after hearing gunshots
would you
not
leave
tell
that?
anyone?
And not only not tell anybody, but leaving the room unattended. Are you flipping kidding me?
Well, and shouldn't a security guard be trained?
Right.
This would be an active shooter situation, but no. They disappeared for 15 minutes and left the room unattended.
I'm if you're that freaked out, find a way to get a hold of, somebody so they can call 911.
Exactly. Also, the door was double locked from the inside. Yep. And only security guards can get in when that happens.
Oh.
Yeah. So you could also argue that a double-locked door would not be challenging for, intelligence services as well, obviously.
Whoa.
So, don't come after me, intelligence services, please.
Yep, no, please don't.
Okay. Now, there is one guest, and I am so gonna butcher this name because I don't know what it would be. But I think it's Borghild Strandinus.
Okay.
They stayed in room 2818 on Friday, June 2nd. She didn't know anything about Jennifer until the following week when she saw the story in the newspaper. She realized that she was on the same floor and she contacted the police to let them know that she had been woken up by a loud noise late on Friday night.
A gunshot?
Well, she says she heard a series of thumps or bangs, and she remembers being really worried. She actually considered calling the front desk, but then the noise stopped, so she decided against it. Now, room 2818 isn't necessarily anywhere near 2805, but you know where it's near? That mysterious 2816 room where the newspaper came from.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I know that's a terrible way to end the story.
Why are you shutting your tablet? Stop it!
Because that's it. That's all we know. Isn't that cuckoo bananas?
Oh, I could kill you right now.
No, don't. I have a podcast to run.
Oh my God. I can't believe you're leaving me with that.
I know. And sorry if it gets a little confusing with the timeline and then jumping around from room to room. But
no, I didn't think it was.
Okay, good. This story to me, when I heard it, I was like, I have to cover it because I'm so confused.
It's just so creepy and confusing and so many things wrong with it.
Right.
And I just can't believe you just did that to me.
I know.
And everybody else.
Yeah, I know.
I'm apologizing for her because she sucks.
And obviously, we don't know the lady's name, so I stuck with Jennifer since that's what she checked in as, and it would have been confusing to call her anything else.
I thought you made it easy with that. I did not get lost at all.
Okay, because in articles that I was reading, people were calling her all sorts of different things and mysterious woman, and I was like, no.
No, I wasn't confused at all. I thought it went really good.
Oh, good. But yeah, oh my gosh. I know that it ends on so many extra questions, but to me, it really makes sense that there was something else going on in that 2816 room.
Yeah.
Because it came up more than once.
It did.
And I don't know, man. I think intelligence services.
Okay, you know what?
I know, I gotta stop saying it.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
that
like,
was just part of the story.
You're gonna bring them over here. You're gonna bring freaking paranormal shit.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, stop it.
I would say, regardless of who was involved in killing Jennifer, I think that the people at the hotel were probably paid off.
I feel like...
At least the security guard.
Yeah.
But also, it has to be the front desk, too, because there's no way.
I was leaning more towards the front desk, because, like, I guess I could kind of see the security guard thing, like, being in a panic, but also, no, I can't. Like, I don't know.
I would hope a security guard wouldn't do that.
Right. And, like, but for sure the front desk, because, I mean, obviously, I'm sure every once in a while they forget, like, to ask, but also it's
But how do
their
you
job.
not even get a credit card?
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
That's what freaks me out. Because I could see if somehow you missed checking the ID, but a credit card, you didn't get a payment. How did they get a key?
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah, I don't understand.
That's where I'm like, something is going on.
Yes.
And if Jennifer was in the Secret Service, I don't know if somehow that explains that. Like, I'm not sure how that works.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah. I hate when stories don't like get tied up with a nice little bow at the end. Honestly, I just want to know all of the answers.
Okay, but then you go and tell them.
I know, because I'm so fascinated and I can't stop.
I get it. I get it.
Okay.
Still a meanie bobini, though.
Oh, no, not a meanie bobini.
Yep. That's what you are.
Okay. So make sure to let us know about any stories you want us to tell you. And hey, you know what? If you have something that you specifically want Hannah to tell you, let her ass know.
Yeah.
Be like, Hannah, I feel like you should tell me this story that I know about already.
Do it. Hoo.
Call her out.
Seriously, do it.
Yes. Follow us on any of your podcast apps, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Give us a 5-star review if you love us. Tell your friends, tell your cats. Bye.